Hi everyone, my name is Beth and I'm the in-resort coordinator here at Discover Banff Tours. Today I'm going to be giving our winter product knowledge session. So you'll learn all about our winter tours, products, and then a bit about our affiliate program afterwards as well. So I always like to start these sessions off with talking about why I think you should choose to book your guests onto our tours. So the first example I have here is that we offer hotel pickup and drop off. We pick up from most hotels in town, that would be the town of Banff. If we don't pick up from the guest's exact hotel, it will either be next door or a few minutes walk away. We also offer pickups at the Banff train station as well, so if guests do have their own vehicle and wish to drive here, they can park there for 11 hours for free and we can pick them up and drop them off there as well. Here at Discover Banff Tours, we offer small group tours, which is definitely one of my favourite things about our tours. All of our on-trail products have a 12:1 guide to guest ratio, which I think is really nice. It keeps the groups nice and small and it feels really personal for the guests. Another one of my favourite things about our tours is that they all come with commentary. Our guides are super knowledgeable. They know everything there is to know about Banff, the area, the history, the wildlife. So guests will really learn a lot on our tours. Discover Banff Tours is a carbon neutral company. We do a lot of work on our sustainability. We've recently just updated our website and put all about our sustainability on there. So if you would like some more information, you can go on our website there. So I'm going to start talking about our tours now. The first tour that I'm going to talk about is Discover Banff and its wildlife. If you know anything about Discover Banff Tours, then you've probably heard of this one. It is the tour that we are most known for. It began in 1999 when we started business and it's still running today because it is just so popular. We run this tour all year round, no matter what the weather, no matter what the season, this tour is going to run. We run every day at 8:30 a.m. and it's about 3 hours long. I like this tour a lot. I think it's really good for people of all ages and all abilities. We go to all of the hotspots that they probably would have heard about already when they were planning their trip here to Banff. So we'll hit Banff Springs, Bow Falls, Surprise Corner, Hoodoos and Lake Minnewanka. Obviously this tour is called Discover Banff and its wildlife, but you guys know, you live in the area, it's not a zoo. We can't guarantee that guests are going to see wildlife. This time of year they'll probably see some deer and elk, but yeah, it's nothing that we can guarantee. So what I like to tell guests is that it's a bit of an introduction in history to the area, and we'll talk a lot about how we protect our wildlife here in the national park. Johnston Canyon Ice Walk. This is definitely our most popular tour in the winter time. Everyone's heard of this one and everyone wants to go. So we run twice a day. We go at 8:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. and it's about 4 hours long. That's including driving time. We travel along the Bow Valley Parkway, which of course is super scenic, and we'll go to both lower and upper falls. Now, if you've been to Johnston Canyon before, you know that most of the time you are walking along catwalks, so there is a railing to hold onto majority of the time. There are just a few sections where there won't be anything for the guest to hold onto, so just keep that in mind when you're assessing the guest's ability. We provide guests with ice cleats. We have a bunch of different sizes and this tour is rated easy. Once we get to the upper falls, we will stop, take a break, have some hot chocolate and maple cookies, and if the guests are lucky, they might spot some ice climbers. Now, as I was saying, Johnston Canyon is extremely popular, so we also run this tour in the evening. This is our Johnston Canyon Evening Ice Walk. This is one of my favourite tours. I think it's pretty special, it's very unique, and when you're in the canyon in the evening time, our group are the only ones there. There is no one else there, so they really get to experience Johnston Canyon for themselves. So we run this tour at 6:30 p.m. and again we travel along the Bow Valley Parkway to get there. The only difference is with the evening ice walk is that we don't go to the upper falls, we will only go to the lower falls. Because we only go to the lower falls, that's where we will take our break and have some hot chocolate and maple cookies. But apart from that, everything else is pretty much the same. We provide guests with ice cleats, it's rated easy. The only difference is that we give each guest one of these headlamps that you can see in the picture, and they get to keep that as a souvenir when they're done. So the next tour that I'm going to talk about is again one of my favorites, probably my favorite tour to recommend to people. A lot of locals, I feel, have never heard of this tour before. So this one is Grotto Canyon Ice Walk. Grotto Canyon is located just outside of Canmore, and because not a lot of people have heard of it, it's usually pretty empty. So you might bump into the odd person walking their dog or going for a stroll, but apart from that, there's pretty much no one there. We run this tour every day at 8:30 a.m. and it's about 4 hours long, and that includes driving time. You can see in the picture here that the guests are walking directly on the ice, so that's what makes it a little bit different from Johnston Canyon as opposed to walking on catwalks. Because you're walking directly on the ice for this tour, we provide different types of ice cleats. They have spikes on the end of them, and it's rated easy to moderate for that reason. At the end of Grotto Canyon, there are frozen falls where again the guests might spot some ice climbers, and that's where we will do our hot chocolate and maple cookies. Now this tour is actually a tour that was new to us last winter, and we have decided to carry it on because it was a pretty popular option. So this one is our Discover Lake Louise and Yoho tour. This is a full day tour, so this is going to be what you're recommending to guests that maybe aren't skiing or are taking a break from skiing for the day but still want a full day activity. So we'll run this tour every day at 9 a.m. and we'll travel along the Bow Valley Parkway where we'll make some stops to take some pictures. We'll then head to Lake Louise where the guests will get 45 minutes of free time so they can walk the shoreline, get all the pictures that they want, and then we'll head to Yoho National Park where we will stop at the Natural Bridges and Emerald Lake. Emerald Lake is another place that I think is very underrated in the winter time. It's absolutely stunning and it's definitely worth people going to see. At Emerald Lake, you have Emerald Lake Lodge, which is actually where we will stop off for lunch. So that is included in the price of the tour. Guests can choose between a bison lasagna or a veggie lasagna. And then after lunch, we will sit around the fire and have s'mores, which I find is a really big selling point for people that aren't from North America. People get really excited about that, which is funny because it is just such a small part of the tour. Of course, this tour also includes hot chocolate and maple cookies, but most likely at Lake Louise, as there's a lot of food at Emerald Lake, if not. Okay, so I know I've said this about every tour, but this one is my all-time favorite. This one is snowshoeing to Paint Pots. So we run this tour every single day at 1:30 p.m. and it's 4 hours long, including driving there. The Paint Pots are located in Kootenai National Park, and it is located right where the Continental Divide is, so there is always a lot more snow there than we get here. The reason I love this tour is because I find it's really good for all ages, and it's definitely one that I always bring my family on whenever they come and visit town. When we get to the Paint Pots, we will fit everyone with their snowshoes and give everyone a bit of free time to play around in the snow and get used to wearing the snowshoes. After that, we'll head up to the Paint Pots, which are exactly as they sound. They are natural pots of paint that are in the ground. And then we'll head to a sloped area where the guests can crazy carpet down the slope, which is obviously a lot of fun. Who doesn't love doing that? While the guests are doing that, the guide will be making some maple taffy. So they'll boil up the maple syrup and roll it out into the snow for a classic Canadian treat. And then we will head back. Now this tour is rated easy to moderate. There are a few inclines, but it's nothing too crazy. We'll also obviously provide hot chocolate with the maple taffy as well. But this one, obviously for families, it's a lot of fun. Kids really enjoy it. But for all ages, I find that people come back from this tour and talk about how nostalgic it felt and how it was so much fun to be a kid for the day. So this product, again, is something that is new for us. We started it this summer and we've decided to carry it on through the winter. So this is our online private tour. And this is basically for you guys to have the ability to book private tours without having to contact us. You can book these directly through the portal, and you can choose an option of any of the public tours and make them private, or you can choose the custom full day and custom half day tour. So all of our private tours are fully customizable. You can add lunches, we can do pick up from one place and drop off to another. you can really be flexible with what the guest wants to do. We can help guests build their dream itinerary, upgrade vehicles, and really play around with what the guest wants to do. This one that I'm going to talk about here is a local's favourite, and you'll see why. It is our Kicking Horse Powder Express. So essentially what this is your shuttle and lift ticket to Kicking Horse Mountain in Golden. Now, Kicking Horse Mountain is one of my favourite mountains to snowboard. It's a little bit more advanced than the mountains that we have around here. So this is going to be for your really keen skiers and snowboarders. If they are wanting something a little bit more than the options that we have here, this is going to be the perfect tour for them. So this one, we don't begin until January, and we depart at 7 a.m. We arrive when the gondola opens, so guests will usually get first chair, and then we'll return to Banff at about 6:30 p.m. We do have one-way options available as well, so if you have a guest that is looking to go on to Golden after here, we can take them and their luggage onto Golden. The reason this tour is so popular with locals is because you're actually saving a little bit of money by booking this tour, as you get the shuttle and the ski ticket. Thanks for hanging on this long. I've finished talking about all of the tours that Discover Banff Tours offers. So now I'm just going to talk about a few terms and conditions that we have. So guests must come dressed for the weather. In our confirmation emails, we send a list of things that we think guests should bring and wear. But I do just sometimes like to make a point of saying it verbally to the guests. You know, some people aren't from here, so they've never experienced the cold weather before. So just make sure they're wearing, a warm jacket, waterproof snow pants, waterproof boots, sturdy boots, that kind of thing. Guests must sign waivers. They can do this online, or we can give them a paper waiver on the bus. And we have a 24-hour cancellation policy. Guests must be at their pickup point on time outside. And in terms of weather, we do have a cutoff point, and that is minus 27 degrees. Now, that is very tour dependent. Our tours are all over the place, so obviously the temperature varies. We might have a tour that's at Johnston Canyon and it might be minus 30 degrees there, but in town it might be minus 20 degrees. That's not really something you guys have to worry about, because that's our job to contact the guests and let them know that the tour's been cancelled, and we will offer them a refund or reschedule.
It's pretty much a dream come true.
Audio Jungle.
So Discover Banff Tours and Banff Trail Riders are sister companies. We work hand in hand, and you can book both of us through the portal. So you'll see a section for Discover Banff Tours and Banff Trail Riders. So for Banff Trail Riders, in the summertime, we do trail rides. In the wintertime, we offer sleigh rides. So we have 3 different types of sleighs. The first one is going to be our private sleigh for 2. This is our romantic sleigh, and it's very popular with honeymooners and proposals. It's 45 minutes around the stables, and it comes included with a s'mores kit and buffalo blanket. The only thing I would ask, if you do have a guest that is asking about a proposal, I would recommend just booking it in as a normal sleigh and then giving us a call or sending an email. Please do not put any notes about proposals in the booking, as when guests are checking in, they can see the screen, so it will blow the cover. We then have our family sleigh. So this is just a sleigh for 4 people, private sleigh. It can be 4 adults, it can be 2 adults and 2 kids, it can be 1 adult and 3 kids, whatever they want, it's just 4 people. And again, it comes included with the s'mores kit and blanket. Lastly, we have our public sleigh. This is going to be a sleigh of either 9, 12 or 16 seats, and they're booking on with other members of the public. It comes included with a blanket, and a s'mores kit can be purchased after or before the ride. All of our rides are the same. They're 45 minutes around the stables, and afterwards they can come back to the stables and hang out, cook some s'mores, sit by the fire, enjoy a hot drink, and meet all the other horses. If you have a big group that is looking to book a sleigh, we can definitely do that. We would just do a buyout of the public sleigh, but that's something you would have to give us a call for. For Banff Trail Riders, I would recommend letting guests know that they do need to dress warm. They are going to be sitting outside still for 45 minutes, so They want to wear a warm coat for sure, and they just have to arrive at the stables 15 minutes prior to their ride. So that is all for the tours and the products that we offer. So now I will talk a little bit about how our affiliate program works. So everything that I've just mentioned is commissionable by 10%. A lot of people assume that there is no commission to be made in the wintertime, but that is not true. We have a lot of options for people, a really big variety for those that are taking a break from skiing or have come here and don't ski. We have a lot of really nice options for them. There's definitely a lot of money to be made still in the winter in terms of commission. In terms of fam tours, the way I run fam tours are I encourage them. I could sit and talk to you all day about these tours, but really the best way to learn them is to go out on them yourselves. So if you would like to join any of the tours that I've just mentioned, please just send me an email at inresort@banfftours.com. My name is Beth, and I will book you on them. Just let me know dates and obviously what tours you want to go on as well and where you would like to be picked up from. The only tour I can't really do fams for is the Kicking Horse Powder Express. However, I will be running a fam day, so I will let you guys know as soon as I have the dates available for that. But thank you so much for listening to me rambling on about the tours. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. If you do have any more questions, feel free to send me an email at inresort@banfftours.com. On the booking portal, I have added some FAQs and some tour descriptions, so hopefully that will help you out. However, if you do have a guest in front of you and you're not quite sure how to answer their question, feel free to give our reservations team a call. There's usually someone there all day long, so they'll be happy to help. But thank you so much.